That hard hat really earned its keep today. Glad he was wearing it. The energy released there is enough to break a neck. Nature sometimes has its own way of getting back. Glad everyone seems to be okay. Orange paint usually means the tree is marked for removal soon.
ارجع ارجع يا حاج. بص يا ريس، يا حاج يا ريس.
This Scania R660 brings 660 horsepower to the Scottish borders. Watch the log lift 108's hydraulic loader handle these 10-foot spruce logs with ease. It's a high-efficiency setup designed for heavy-duty timber haulage in demanding terrain. He's pushing that old engine to its absolute limit. The statistics don't lie. Most accidents like this happen right off a ladder. Look at that teamwork between Anton and his horses. It's not just about brute force, it's about communication. In the world of forestry, this setup is about as eco-friendly as it gets. These guys are true pros when it comes to low-impact logging. Combine a massive diseased tree, one incredibly sharp rapid microchain, and some serious throttle control. What do you get? A flawlessly downed log and a very long afternoon of hand sharpening later? It's a beautiful thing to watch, but man, I definitely don't envy the guy who has to file those teeth. Hooking the rope too high is a quick way to flip. Great teamwork here. The climber and the ground guy are totally in sync to lower those heavy branches without hitting anything nearby. But this next clip shows how quickly things can go wrong when that teamwork breaks down.
Really?
I'm looking at that notch and wondering if they were trying to cut the tree or just give it a stylish haircut. This Ergo C5 is pushing its H7 head to the limit on a 6.1 cubic meter tree. Some loggers prefer chainsaws for this size to get a lower stump, but the Ergo's safety and production speed are hard to beat in commercial thinning operations. What do you think? Ever wonder why they don't just use trucks up there? It's all about the incline. These yarders swing logs mid-air to navigate slopes where wheels simply can't find any grip. He's putting in way too much physical effort when the weight of the saw should be doing all the work. It's always a great plan to run exactly where the tree is aiming to land. That's a bad idea.
When you're looking at buying these machines, this is probably the heaviest firewood processor you're gonna.
You guys have to see this beast, the new Easton-made 48C. Everyone's saying this Skidder Kev guy is the lucky one getting the first unit. Look at that fit and finish. It even has a massive cup holder for those long mornings in the woodyard. Dead trees love to drop surprises from above while they tip. Never wait to see where it lands. If you're wondering why it uses a step feeder instead of rollers, it's mainly down to the engine power. It keeps the machine lightweight and affordable for private forest owners who need to switch between harvesting and hauling without owning two massive rigs. We really have to appreciate how they stack those logs so high, without the whole truck tipping over on the first turn. Meets the Mercedes of the firewood world. The TLA-22 doesn't just cut, it selectively dismantles logs with a precision that makes other processors look like toys. Watching this plant work in Germany feels like witnessing a giant athlete who never breaks a sweat, no matter how thick the timber gets.
There she goes, there she goes. Woo.
It looks like the tree was just glued to the surface. It's actually a giant spring just waiting for the right moment to snap back. Not every attachment is a perfect match. This one is clearly fighting the weight of that hardwood stump.
Nick!
You have to wonder if he even owns that car, because nobody treats their own ride with that much disrespect.
Chain snapped.
Dropping a pine this size is always a huge task, especially since it's already dead. Using a 36-inch bar on that 395 XP might seem small for an 8-foot trunk, but the technique here is what actually gets the job done safely. Unload, stand it back up, and start again. Just another day in the woods. Material things can be replaced, but seeing that much hard work burn is brutal.
Cadê o motorista? Coloca mais pra frente.
That's a classic barber chair waiting to happen. If that trunk snaps upward while he's leaning in, it's game over. It's easily one of the scariest moments in logging. For anyone clearing acres of woods, the Galatrax 800 is a game changer. Developing 765 horsepower, this mechanical drive monster turns small trees into mulch instantly. It's a superior alternative to traditional bulldozers, recycling brush back into the soil without leaving deep ruts or piling up waste. Check out those secondary arms, the huggers. They're not just for grip, they shake off the extra dirt so you don't lose your topsoil. One more foot and those power lines would have been history. It's a miracle everyone walked away. There's zero coordination between the ground crew and the climber. Ever notice how smooth those cuts are? It seems the operator integrated custom measuring tools into the PATU system. Finding the right hydraulic flow balance is usually the trickiest part of a build like this. That's a classic Pacific P16, a real legend in logging history.
I forgot to. I was afraid of getting that rope snap. The truck didn't do so you'll pull it much more. But I that's something more thing. All right, well, let me get
and pin gouges, and we still did it wrong somehow. Why not falling apart?
They had the right tools, just maybe not the best strategy for this specific hike.
We got the tree now.
stuff like that. But
Hey, no.
That conveyor on the super pill keeps a steady rhythm. It's a lot of firewood in a short time, provided someone can keep feeding those thin branches in. Switching gears to a vertical approach now. This T25 splitter has people talking because of its height and power. It's a completely self-contained hydraulic system, making it a very capable tool for those oversized rounds. The engineering here is fascinating, especially that rotor system with up to 20 blades. The Biber 84 chipper is designed to handle the shock of 2-foot thick logs without stalling that 510 horsepower engine. In Sweden, they tested it specifically on logging residue, and it still hit that massive 36 ton per hour mark. It's easy to get why Swedish loggers love running this thing.
Yeah!
The front end is lifting off the ground like it wants to take flight, loading all that weight on the back axle on a snowy hill. What were they thinking? Crazy driving. Those skidder tracks look like a fun challenge for a dirt bike, but maybe not while the 635D skidder is working. It climbs better than most 4x4 trucks I know. Basically, it is a tank disguised as a tractor, turning the steepest hills into a casual Sunday drive for the logs. Urban forestry feels like a high-stakes balancing act. Since poplars only last about 30 years before becoming ticking time bombs, spotting rot in just one triggers a nervous reaction. You honestly have to take down the whole row just to sleep soundly. It's a tough call, but safety always comes first. Man, watching hands get that deep in the chute gives me anxiety. The rotating head is the game changer here. Being able to switch from felling a 40-foot tree to bucking logs on the ground without moving the machine makes this attachment incredibly versatile and fast. Never underestimate a wind-blown beech. That guy shows why anchoring the stump is mandatory. If you skip the cable or the PPE, you're basically digging your own grave. Did you see how much load that truck is carrying? It's insane that a road chassis even made it out of there. That clutch must be screaming for mercy right now. K.O. Douglas fir was growing before the United States even existed as a country. Look at the bar size on that chainsaw. It looks like a toy next to a 500-year-old trunk. I bet sharpening that chain took forever. If you want to see real machinery pushed to the limit, so much better for the forest than cutting live trees. Really shows why you need the right gear for the job. Even with older wood, precision harvesting ensures valuable resources aren't wasted during the cleanup process. Serious Quentin Tarantino vibe. Coming off this thing. Instead of separate machines, the excavator powers both the chainsaw and the splitter head. The operator just swings over, grabs a trunk, and crunch, instant firewood. Building a functional saw mill from scratch using car tires is solid engineering. The stability on that pine log is surprising for a homemade rig. But man, the lack of guards is nerve-wracking. It's called bucking logs for a reason, kind of like a bucking bronco. Both the guy and the saw went down together. That was way too close for comfort. I've seen pros have this happen too. Sometimes the tree just has a hidden weakness. Guess the country? My bet is on Russia. Those guys are built differently for this work. That's not unloading, that's just risking lives.
Oh shit!
Glad they are okay. Insurance is gonna have a hard time believing this one. It's hard to beat a classic Hayes or Pacific truck. They just don't build them like they used to. Moving from the woodyard to the field, Georgia Brush Mowing shows how a disc mulcher handles 30-foot pines in just 30 minutes. It runs a fixed displacement motor at up to 1,200 revolutions per minute. While it's perfect for pine, you can really see that consistent speed at work. Folks, take a look at this Petzolato PTH 1200. It's packing a massive 796 horsepower Volvo engine. Since there's no built-in crane or hydraulic fan, almost every bit of that power goes straight to the drum. That's why it just keeps eating those huge logs without even flinching or slowing down. No helmet, no harness, and using a chainsaw with one hand while balanced on a ladder. He's lucky to be alive, But those pins and plates in his leg are a permanent reminder of this mistake. Logging and climbing are high-risk jobs. Much respect to the people doing this daily. That is some terrifying timing. Talk about a high-output setup. This Kessler 28RH harvesting head is famously fast, outperforming many standard rigs in final felling. The operator's rhythm is spot on, using that massive hydraulic power to turn standing timber into perfect logs in seconds. Truly futuristic logging tech. Watch how easily the Komatsu 895 handles those heavy logs. It looks way more suited for timber than just clearing brush, especially with that massive reach. Getting a crane involved definitely adds a layer of safety. It takes the guesswork out of where that wood is going to land after the cut. Sometimes trying to save the grass ends up being way more expensive than just fixing the lawn later. Those logs were packed so well, it's such a shame to see them go. Looks like the notch wasn't deep enough to hold it. You might wonder why they leave a stump. The golf course actually required a 10-meter snag for wildlife habitat. Plus, felling the whole tree would have destroyed several other firs nearby, so climbing was the only clean way out. The strategy here is splitting the work. One truck handles the messy forest loading, while this man, TGS, focuses strictly on transport. It's a specialized logistics chain where the goal isn't versatility, but moving as much wood as possible from point A to point B without wasting fuel on dead weight. Here's a frick sawmill in action at the 2018 Gratz Show, powered by a vintage International tractor. These American-made frick saws were famous for their durability in Pennsylvania's early logging industry. Pezzolatto's Professional 2.0 operates as a single operator station with integrated cutting and splitting. Installed in Latvia, it features a large cutting disc and 2 independent splitting stations designed to streamline the production of birch logs for local distribution. Free firewood splitting. Just kidding. That's a very serious situation to be in. Be careful with the finish. That rope just turned into a serious trap right there. I'm not sure if I'd use all 3, but that middle setup looks pretty solid for a home. Is that a Mercedes tree? I'd love to grow one of those in my backyard. Professional timber falling is a dying art, but Pat Lacey is keeping it alive here. Between the sound of that steel 660 singing and Ugly Hound watching for widowmakers, it's a masterclass in safety and efficiency. No jacks needed, just a sharp saw and a faller who knows his wood. Leaving the load unsecured is actually a safety move. If the trailer tips, the logs just spill while the driver stays safe.
Мать, блядь.
If you think your commute is bad, just watch this guy getting through his workday. He chose the one place where the bear actually has the home court advantage. Check out the Bilka S3 in action. It's a specialized firewood processor that cuts and splits in one movement, making it a reliable tool for any timber operation. It's not breaking any speed records, but for a home setup, it gets the job done pretty clean. I think that log is actually getting a massage instead of a cut with the way he's gently rubbing that blade. The plan was to clear the yard, but the tree decided the roof looked better. That V-plow is doing some hardcore work. It's interesting to note the truck is weighted down with timber to make sure the transmission can put all that power to the ground without just spinning the wheels. That tongue and groove cut is spot on. It's a rare technique used here to lock the tree's direction perfectly. High voltage lines make felling much more stressful. The excavator's role here is purely to counter the wind, making sure the tree doesn't lean toward the 15 kilovolt hazard. It looks small on top, but there's a whole underground fortress down there. Ever seen a stump grinder handle wood this size? It's a powerful way to recycle old timber right on the spot. The most eco-friendly chainsaw I've ever seen.
We don't know where we're...
That hollow core is a total nightmare because there's just no solid wood left to actually hold the hinge together. A mill from scratch using car tires is solid engineering. The stability on that pine log is surprising for a homemade rig. But man, the lack of guards is nerve-wracking.
It's already got pinching.
Even watching this through a screen makes me sweat. You can almost feel the heat radiating as he works. Felling them is critical to stop ember spread, but it's hands down one of the riskiest moves for any sawyer.
Nice. Heads up. No. Woo! Bump it!
This is basically a giant industrial vacuum cleaner for the forest. It roams through the woods, sucking up all the leftover branches and logs, leaving the ground nice and tidy. It's the ultimate cleanup crew wrapped into one powerful off-road vehicle. Standing there watching the nose lift up, you expect something to snap. The operator is definitely having fun, but the mechanics back at the shop certainly won't be laughing. Mastering these mountain trails takes years. You really see the difference between rookies and pros. What do you think is more frustrating? Having your chain derail mid-cut on that steep angle, or watching the log you finally cut steamroll all the way to the bottom? Well, at least the log de-limbed itself on the way down.
There's a zoomed out view of it.
I would be terrified to drive that. One big bump on that dirt road and the whole 30-ton load is shifting.
Ja.
This is the opposite of safety. A crane takes 20 minutes. This takes 20 seconds of pure luck. We're looking at a historic Gattersag in the Mühlhausen sawmill in Germany, an operation that's been running for ages. While slower than modern bandsaws, its multi-blade design from the last century is perfect for processing a whole log in one pass. If tree felling isn't your thing, a chainsaw is definitely not the tool to experiment with.
Achtung, Baumfeld! Scheiße.
Those trucks are probably wondering what they did to deserve that. Wrong tool for pulling trees. Plus, he's standing in the worst possible spot. Forget clearing land. This thing just hits the delete button on the forest. It's like a 20-foot tall wood pencil being put into a 450 HP sharpener. Incredibly satisfying to watch that sawdust fountain erupt. But I'm wondering, what do they do about all the stumps left behind?
C'est comme un mystère de part et d'autre. C'est vraiment mystère.
This has to be a modern art project, right? They built the car around the tree. It's the only logical explanation.
Au-delà de tout entendement, ouais, qui transperce la voiture de part et d'autre, traverse qui est transpercé. Voilà, il rentre dans le...
You're seeing a perfect example of a dangerously shifted center of gravity. Too much weight on the rear axles lifts the steering tires completely. Thanks for watching Machine Universe. Remember, these pros make it look easy, but the woods are never as predictable as they seem. That hard hat really earned its keep today. Glad he was wearing it. The energy released there is enough to break a neck. Nature sometimes has its own way of getting back. Glad everyone seems to be okay. Orange paint usually means the tree is marked for removal soon.
ارجع يا حاج. بص يا ريس، يا حاج يا ريس.
This Scania R660 brings 660 horsepower to the Scottish borders. Watch the log lift 108's hydraulic loader handle these 10-foot spruce logs with ease. It's a high-efficiency setup designed for heavy-duty timber haulage in demanding terrain. He's pushing that old engine to its absolute limit. The statistics don't lie. Most accidents like this happen right off a ladder. Look at that teamwork between Anton and his horses. It's not just about brute force, it's about communication. In the world of forestry, this setup is about as eco-friendly as it gets. These guys are true pros when it comes to low-impact logging. Combine a massive diseased tree, one incredibly sharp rapid microchain, and some serious throttle control. What do you get? A flawlessly downed log and a very long afternoon of hand sharpening later? It's a beautiful thing to watch, but man, I definitely don't envy the guy who has to file those teeth. Hooking the rope too high is a quick way to flip. Great teamwork here. The climber and the ground guy are totally in sync to lower those heavy branches without hitting anything nearby. But this next clip shows how quickly things can go wrong when that teamwork breaks down. I'm looking at that notch and wondering if they were trying to cut the tree or just give it a stylish haircut.